开到路口着火了。
哎呀，太吓人了，这电瓶车着火了。
走开一点，走开一点，爆炸了！走开一点。
In this video, the panicked man is the owner of a Li Auto electric car. According to him, he was driving for only 10 minutes when the vehicle suddenly caught fire at a traffic light. Passerbys and fellow drivers extended their helping hands, spraying fire extinguishers in an attempt to put out the fire, but with little success. Eventually, the fire department arrived and extinguished the fire, but the electric car was severely damaged and deemed unusable. Li Auto is already the top performing among China's emerging electric car manufacturers. Last year, they delivered a total of 376,000 vehicles with a net profit exceeding 11.8 billion yuan, making them the third most profitable new electric vehicle company after Tesla and BYD. As Li Auto sales continue to soar, so does the chorus of criticism they face, with safety concerns being the foremost among them. Consequently, they've been thrust into the spotlight of public scrutiny. Recently, Li Auto SUV, the L9 Pro, experienced a mishap where its driving assistance system mistakenly identified a truck on a billboard as a real car while on the highway. The system initiated an emergency brake, causing rear vehicles to collide due to insufficient reaction time. The accident triggered the deployment of both front airbags, resulting in minor abrasions to the driver's hands and face. Following police investigation, the owner of the SUV was deemed responsible for the entire accident. Li Auto acknowledges that there was indeed an issue with the system's recognition, and they plan to improve and update the software accordingly. Previously, Li Auto electric cars had a similar incident. In May 2023, a Li Auto L7 was driving normally on a national highway when its driving assistance system mistook a picture of a brand ambassador on a billboard for a real person, triggering the emergency braking system. With this incident occurring nearly a year apart from the recent one, it indicates that Li Auto has not improved the recognition function of its driving assistance system. Emergency braking due to system errors on highways is highly dangerous, potentially leading to serious traffic accidents, even endangering lives. The quality and technical issues with Li Auto electric cars are deeply concerning, leaving many owners frustrated with time and energy wasted on frequent repairs.
1年365天，100多天都在修车。
Out of 365 days in a year, over 100 days are spent dealing with car repairs. If I'm not actually in the repair shop, I'm on my way there. The navigation system has issues. The calibration is inaccurate. For example, when I'm on the highway, it might jump to a national road. The headlights often fail to turn on, and during heavy rain or foggy weather, the car lights won't work either. This Li Auto car owner also presented a thick stack of repair records. According to him, many times when he took the car to the repair shop, they said there was no problem, but the car kept experiencing faults. There have also been instances where the infotainment system froze and couldn't be used properly. The infotainment system has been replaced twice, and the car has been repaired to the point where it can't be fixed anymore.
理想又撞了 ABC 柱。
Li Auto had another collision. The car's A, B, and C pillars are all gone. From the video, the collision appears to be quite severe, with the entire car trapped under the truck.
Another car owner from Hangzhou, Mr. Zhou, disclosed that while driving his recently purchased Li Auto L8 for about 3 months, he encountered an accident on the road. At the time, he was traveling at approximately 40 kilometers per hour. However, the safety belt provided by Li Auto didn't tighten, the airbags didn't deploy, and the automatic emergency braking AEB system failed to activate. As a consequence, Mr. Zhou's ribs directly hit the steering wheel, resulting in rib fractures and multiple other injuries to his body. Mr. Zhou said, "Quite frankly, neither active nor passive safety measures provided any protection for me. That's something I find very difficult to accept. Even if this car is repaired, I definitely won't dare to drive it again. The impact this time was only at 40 kilometers per hour, and with no protection at that speed. What if it had been 80 kilometers per hour? What about on the highway at 120 kilometers per hour?" A man from Weifang, Shandong province had just received his new Li Auto L8 4 months ago. One day, when he got out of the car, the door suddenly wouldn't lock. Following the instructions from the after-sales service, he attempted to resolve the issue. To his astonishment, the door handle started smoking and caught fire, accompanied by a burning smell. The car's horn stopped working, and neither the windows nor the trunk could be opened. The individual revealed that when taken for repairs, he was informed of inherent quality issues with the car. Currently, it has been fixed and can be used normally. However, he expressed reluctance to continue driving it out of concern for his personal safety. Additionally, some users have encountered charging issues. I'm really frustrated. We rented the Li Auto electric car Mega to test its range. When I arrived at the National Grid charging station to charge the electric car, I found out that it couldn't charge at all. I've already tried 2 different charging stations, but it still doesn't work. I have no idea why it won't charge. Now the remaining range is only 67 kilometers. The man filming the video revealed that he sought help from other electric car owners and tested the charging equipment, only to find out that the issue wasn't with the charging station. He then contacted Li Auto's customer service. After an inspection, he was informed that there was nothing wrong with the electric car, leaving him feeling very frustrated. Mega is Li Auto's first large pure electric MPV launched this year. However, due to its poor performance, the product announced a price reduction of 30,000 yuan within just 2 months of its launch. Initially targeting monthly sales of 8,000 units, the recent monthly sales have only reached 671 units. Due to this underperformance, Li Auto has revised its sales expectations from the initial 8,000 units down to 2,000 units. Additionally, the annual sales target for this year has been drastically reduced from 650,000 to 800,000 units to 560,000 to 640,000 units. According to Chinese state media reports, an internal informant pointed out that achieving the annual sales target of 560,000 units won't be easy either. Li Auto only sold 106,200 vehicles in the first 4 months of this year, accounting for 19% of the revised sales target. With the remaining time this year, the average monthly sales must exceed 56,000 units. To align with the sales target of 800,000 vehicles, Li Auto proposed at the beginning of this year to add 333 new direct retail centers. 4th-tier cities and some 5th-tier cities were also included in the deployment scope, a departure from the previous cautious approach to opening stores. In reality, the company only added 179 stores throughout last year, reflecting a deviation from their anticipated growth plan. Mega's failure has had a significant impact on Li Auto. An internal memo released by Li Auto CEO Xiang shows that he has been reflecting on the issues the automaker has faced in the past 3 weeks. Li Auto mistakenly treated Mega's from 0 to 1 phase, the phase of business validation, as if it were the from 1 to 10 phase, the phase of rapid growth. This is a misjudgment by Li Auto regarding the pace of its pure electric strategy. In addition to poor sales in the Chinese market, Li Auto is also facing obstacles in its export markets. According to insiders who leaked information on Chinese social media platforms, in April this year, Russia implemented new policies on imported cars, resulting in increased tariffs that affected Li Auto's sales. It's reported that there is currently a large number of cars waiting to be taxed in the Russian market, leading to a comprehensive increase in car prices. The Li Auto L9 Max exported to Russia accounts for half of the total sales. From Li Auto's first quarter financial report for 2024, one can see the challenges it's currently facing. The data shows that in the first quarter of 2024, Li Auto total revenue was 25.6 billion yuan, a year-on-year increase of 36.4%, but a sequential decrease of 38.6%. Although its overall data still shows a year-on-year growth, it has completely lost its past glory. However, what's worth noting are the indicators of net profit and cash flow. In the first quarter, Li Auto's net profit attributable to shareholders was 593 million yuan, a year-on-year decrease of 36.3% and a sequential drop of nearly 90%. But if we exclude interest and investment income obtained during this period, Li Auto actually incurred an operating loss of 584 million yuan in the first quarter. This marks Li Auto's return to operating losses after a gap of 3 quarters. Correspondingly, Li Auto's operating profit margin for the first quarter of this year was negative 2.3% compared to a profit of 2.2% in the first quarter of 2023 and 7.3% in the fourth quarter of 2023. In the first quarter of this year, Li Auto's free cash flow was negative 5 billion yuan, whereas it was 6.7 billion yuan in the first quarter of 2023 and 14.6 billion yuan in the fourth quarter of 2023. Additionally, Li Auto's cash reserves decreased from 103.7 billion yuan at the end of 2023 to 98.9 billion yuan in the first quarter of this year. Li Auto explained that the decline in the performance was mainly due to impact of seasonal factors related to the Chinese New Year and lower than expected sales orders in March, resulting in a reduction in vehicle deliveries. According to official data, in the first quarter of 2024, Li Auto delivered a total of 80,000 vehicles, representing a year-on-year increase of 53%. Previously, during Li Auto's 2023 financial report conference call, the company had projected first quarter deliveries to be between 100,000 and 103,000 vehicles. However, just over 20 days later, Li Auto issued a statement announcing that, due to lower than expected sales orders, the company anticipated first quarter vehicle deliveries to be adjusted to between 76,000 and 78,000 units. In response, some investors believe that Li Auto and certain executives made false statements, publicly declaring misleading information which violated securities laws and caused financial harm to investors. These investors have filed a securities fraud lawsuit against Li Auto and some executives in a U.S. court. The lawsuit alleges that Li Auto's public statements contain significant falsehoods and misleading information. This includes Li Auto exaggerating market demand for vehicles and the effectiveness of its operational strategies when launching the Mega model, making it unlikely to meet the vehicle delivery expectations for the first quarter of 2024. Investors are seeking compensation for the losses caused by the decline in stock prices. According to Chinese media reports, a check of the US and Hong Kong stock markets revealed that Li Auto stock price fell by 30% between February 26th and March 20th. Regarding the allegations in the lawsuit, Li Auto stated that the accusations are baseless and they will vigorously defend the interests of the company and shareholders. Public records show that in the United States, the total number of class action lawsuits against Chinese listed companies has exceeded 50. The companies being sued include internet giants like Baidu, Alibaba, Tencent, Pinduoduo, and Didi. Among the new electric vehicle startups, in March 2019, NIO, which has been listed for only 6 months, was sued by investors for alleged false statements regarding its factory construction plans. Additionally, Li Auto has pressed the pause button on its pure electric vehicle business. The company's founder, chairman, and CEO, Xiang, suddenly announced during the performance release conference that the 3 pure electric vehicle models, M7, M8, and M9, originally planned for launch this year, will be postponed until the first half of next year. Due to the disappointing first quarter financial report and the delayed launch of pure electric SUVs, Li Auto's stock price plummeted on May 20th by 12.8% on the US stock market, closing at $21.71. Subsequently, on May 21st, Li Auto's stock price on the Hong Kong stock market plummeted by 19.3%, closing at 80.65 Hong Kong dollars. Faced with various crises, Li Auto is attempting to reduce costs through layoffs. According to mainland media reports, Li Auto has initiated a new round of layoffs with a staggering reduction rate of up to 18%. The 2023 financial report indicates that Li Auto employed nearly 31,600 people, representing a year-on-year increase of 63%. Based on the layoff ratio, this round of layoffs will affect more than 5,600 individuals. The news suggests that in this round of layoffs, employees in departments such as recruitment, sales service operations, and intelligent driving will be significantly affected. Specifically, the number of employees in the sales service operations department will decrease by over 400 people. The recruitment department will see a reduction from over 200 people to 40 to 50 people, and the intelligent driving team will be downsized to fewer than 1,000 people. According to reports, insiders revealed that rumors about layoffs within Li Auto started circulating internally in early May. the Human Resources Department initiated the layoffs, and there have been personnel adjustments in various proportions within the design, production, and supply chain departments. It is reported that the electric vehicle team based in Shanghai will also undergo layoffs. Some employees from this team have already traveled to the Li Auto headquarters in Chunyi, Beijing to discuss adjustments to the future planning of pure electric vehicle products. In fact, Li Auto's intelligent driving department was actively hiring people last year. In April 2023, Li Xiang stated that the intelligent driving team planned to expand to 2,000 people by the end of 2024. Later, Li Auto's chief engineer, Ma Donghui, further stated that advancing in intelligent driving would be a core strategic goal, and the team's size would continue to expand. The current staff in the autonomous driving department is around 900 people, expected to exceed 2,000 people next year and surpass 2,500 people by 2025. In October of the same year, Li Auto continued to expand its recruitment of talent in intelligent driving, covering positions such as algorithm engineers, large-scale model engineers, software and hardware engineers, and testing engineers. The job locations included Beijing, Shanghai, and Shenzhen, and the company offered leading industry salaries. Some talent who switched jobs saw their salaries increase by more than 50%. However, despite these efforts, Li Auto faced slow progress in promoting urban area navigation assistance driving systems in 100 cities, failing to meet the expected targets. According to insiders, the overall atmosphere within the company is tense, with employees passively awaiting the results of the layoffs. Several Li Auto employees have indirectly confirmed the layoffs on a social media platform, quietly rolling out layoffs just notified tonight. In April this year, Tesla, Li Auto, and many other car manufacturers embarked on an unprecedented price war. Tesla once again lowered the starting price of its 4 models sold in China by 14,000 yuan, with XPeng Motors and Li Auto following suit by offering significant discounts or subsidies to attract buyers. The price cuts have squeezed the profitability of car dealers. According to the China Association of Automobile Manufacturers, the average profit margin of the Chinese automotive industry fell to 5% in 2023, marking the lowest level in a decade. Nomura Securities analyst Joel Ying said that the competitive situation may continue for 2 or 3 years, after which the market may enter a new stable stage. By then, the number of competitors in the market may significantly decrease, leaving only a few surviving car companies. According to Radio Free Asia, automotive industry insider Zhou Juntao from Hubei Shuyuan said there is currently an overcapacity of automobile production, with many empty spaces filled with new cars. Cars are not selling well now. With so many brands nationwide, how can they survive? The early stage research and development costs for cars are high, and some brands don't even have their own car factories. They collaborate with companies that have car production capabilities, sell at low prices, and face intense competition. In 2 or 3 years, only about 10 brands of new electric vehicles will survive, and the rest will die out. Zhou Juntao also mentioned that automotive companies have received support from local governments. However, with the current financial constraints faced by governments, running car companies has become even more challenging. Especially when local governments support you, as your car company grows larger, you will receive more research and development investment and funding, leading to a higher survival rate for the enterprise. Now, for every car Xiaomi sells, they incur losses, and they still have to invest in research and development costs. Chinese industry insider Han Guoguang said that Chinese companies attribute the sluggish automobile sales to the impact of trade barriers imposed by Western countries such as the United States. However, in reality, China's automobile production has experienced severe overcapacity. He said, "This year, let alone driving the national economy, where is the automotive industry headed? Our production capacity is indeed in excess. They, the automakers, believe that electric cars sold in foreign markets are cheap and can receive subsidies from the government. Mainly, they are earning foreign exchange, so car companies are happy and energetic, lacking wise and reasonable economic planning." Han Guoguang believes that the more important issue in the Chinese automotive industry is its internal competition. He said, "This is an issue of industrial structure. If one province has car companies, another province wants to have them too. If you have one production line, I want to have two. For example, the vehicle factories in Hebei Xiang, led by Dongfeng Motor Corporation and Guangzhou-based GAC Group dominate, while car manufacturing in Fujian and Zhejiang is suppressed and cannot lift its head, mainly because SAIC Motor Group is too dominant. In the north, there is BAC Group, and in the northeast, there's a China FAW Group, and in fact, the Chinese automotive industry is facing intense internal competition." Currently, in the domestic electric vehicle market, fierce price wars make it quite challenging for electric vehicle businesses to be profitable. Whether it's newcomers like NIO, XPeng, or new brands backed by traditional automakers like Zeekr Motors and IM Motors, they all face significant pressure. In such a highly competitive market, if Li Auto continues to use a pricing strategy seen with Mega, then the sales of the M-series electric vehicles are also bound to be worrisome, potentially becoming a new point of loss for Li Auto and putting even greater pressure on its financial reports.